down the political landscape. This is KQ, truth for you. Political honesty rooted in God. This is KQ, truth for you.
Good evening. Welcome to KQ. I'm Ken.
I'm Kevlon.
Be sure to like, share, and subscribe. This is KQ, the truth for you.
Good evening. Welcome to KQ. I'm Ken.
I am Kevlon, and we are welcoming you to the world of the wise. Thank you all for joining us today. We're going to be brief. In today's political news, the Dallas Mavericks have traded not Dirk, but what's his name? Luka Doncic to the Los Angeles Lakers for a limp garden hose. So that happened. And also, Philadelphia won the Super Bowl and Kendrick Lamar shined. Another prediction of Donald Trump's gone wrong, but who's counting?
Hey,
welcome everybody.
Counting? Welcome in. Welcome to our world. This is going to be a day in the life of a dictator. Hot dang on, man, that dude is mad.
Yes, indeed.
Mad, I said.
Crazy.
Man, so you remember all of those people, what do they call them, Kev? Those undecideds or inconceivables? What do they call themselves? The ones that was protesting the Palestinian thing during the election? The inconsistents. What do they call them?
Unconsolable. I don't know.
Well, boy, I tell you what, man, they decided not to roll with old girl, and all of a sudden, now it don't look so good for your boy.
Yeah, they pretty much if you wanted something good to happen in Gaza, something that made sense, something that would be beneficial to the Gazans, Palestinians, then you picked the wrong person. At least we had a situation where Kamala Harris would do things that would not be adverse to their thriving in their own land. But we have a dictator who decided that he is going to own Gaza. So what is he going to do with all those people, Ken?
Well, you already know what he's going to do. I knew way back then what he was going to do with them people. But hey, hold on. Before we do that, let's just listen to a brief moment back in time. We're going to take you back in time and see what my girl was talking about back then, back when the election was popping off. Let's try this.
And let me be clear, I will always stand up for Israel's right to defend itself, and I will always ensure Israel has the ability to defend itself, because the people of Israel must never again face the horror that a terrorist organization called Hamas caused on October 7, including unspeakable sexual violence and the massacre of young people at a music festival. At the same time, what has happened in Gaza over the past 10 months is devastating. So many innocent lives lost. Desperate, hungry people fleeing for safety over and over again. The scale of suffering is heartbreaking. President Biden and I are working to end this war such that Israel is secure, the hostages are released, the suffering in Gaza ends, and the Palestinian people can realize their right to dignity, security, freedom, and self-determination.
I'm Steve.
Okay, so as you see, she seemed to be compassionate on both sides of the coin. She seemed to be very compassionate on both sides. She was compassionate to the Gazans. She was compassionate to Israel. She realized they've been through some stuff. The Gazans have certainly been through some stuff based on Hamas's actions. And, you know, let's look out for everybody. That was the thread. And that was the one that those, what was it? Incorrectable. I think they were incorrect. The incorrectables the ones that they had. So now, fast forward. Kev, you want to give the prelude for this one?
Yeah. So now that let's say the former administration negotiated over almost a 12-month period the end of the conflict, the military action in the Gaza Strip. This new president has come in with a curveball. He decides to make a declaration that not only does he not care about the good of the Gazan people, but he want to turn it into a Middle East MAGA loco.
Oh, now.
He literally called it the Riviera of the Middle East is what he wants to make it. And Jared Kushner made this pronouncement before the election that he saw it as a great opportunity for developers to come in and turn it into a nice paradise because after all, it is on the beach, you know. I mean,
oh yeah, the weather's nice out there. You know how you do.
Now, keep in mind, this would mean the displacement of almost 2 million Palestinians. So,
all right.
I think that it's a big mistake to allow people, the Palestinians or the people living in Gaza, to go back yet another time. And we don't want Hamas going back. And think of it as a big real estate site. And the United States is going to own it and will slowly, very slowly, we're going to rush development. We're going to bring stability to the Middle East, to a totally war-torn part of the Middle East. And I'm committed to buying and owning Gaza. As far as us rebuilding it, we may give it to other states in the Middle East to build sections of it. Other people may do it through our auspices. People can come from all over the world and live there. But we're going to take care of the Palestinians. We're going to make sure they live beautifully and in harmony and in peace, and that they're not murdered. This has been the most dangerous site anywhere in the world to live in.
Would you accept Palestinian refugees into the United States since you're looking to other countries?
I'd have to look. I think it's a very far distance for them to travel, but I'd have to look at individual cases. But I do think that coming into the United States, we've taken a lot of people, but coming into the United States, it's a long way for them to travel. They're far away from their families and their friends and everything else. I think they'd be very happy staying in the general area with in a place that was safe, where they could be safe and lead a good life.
My goodness.
So let me ask you something, Ken.
Uh-huh.
Who sounded sane, Kamala or him?
Elon? No, Elon don't never sound sane, man. My bad. He wasn't even in the equation. He was the none of the above. But he happens to be above everybody right now. That man doing his dang own thing, man. He pimping hardcore.
Yeah, he got a whole lot of money. He paid $250 billion to get Trump elected, and he bought that spot in the White House for Trump to sick him on these agencies, you know, in the name of, let's say, eliminating waste, fraud, and abuse, which is not the purpose of this thing, but we'll get to that in a second. I really don't understand how people can take anything that this guy says seriously. But at the same time, what you'll find is, as he says it, people will start to formulate their opinions based on what he said and try to make it make sense. They try to shove that square peg into the round hole, and they end up looking kind of silly when they do it. They always find themselves trapped because, number one, who's going to give us Gaza? Number two, why should we take over Gaza? Number three, if it's such a far place away, then think about it. Who are we going to send all the way over there to develop it? What's going to happen with the people there? Are they going to be welcomed? Are they going to get attacked? There's all kinds of different implications that will come with this. And it's kind of silly to think that a president of the United States will go out on a limb, on such a fragile limb, which will cause all types of consternation across the Middle Eastern world because nobody wants us there. And say definitively, we're going to own it. It just doesn't make sense.
Hey, man, it's just another Greenland, dang on Mexico, Canada, dang on Panama. Oh, man, we trying to take over everything. What's his name? Erdogan? No, is that Erdogan down there in Venezuela? What's the
Oh,
Venezuelan
no,
president? Menendez?
Erdogan.
No.
I think Erdogan is either Turkey or
Oh yeah. Well, either way, he dealing with the president down there in Venezuela trying to send back all our Venezuelan people that used to have temporary protective status, or TPS. They rescinded it.
yeah.
And these were the same people that family members and all that are actual citizens voted overwhelmingly for Trump down there in South Florida, which gave Florida, another swing state, the victory. And then all of a sudden they feel totally betrayed by Donald Trump because, well, he killed the temporary protective status and they're sending them all back. They were right here in Montgomery rounding them up too.
They're betrayed by him because he did what he said he was going to do. That's not betrayal. That's just kind of like what you get, you know. I mean,
yeah.
If you go buy a candy bar, it's going to be sweet. That's just the way it is. You know what I'm saying? So get used to it.
Yeah. Hey man. Hey.
A day in the life of a dictator. So
that is just one day, and that wasn't even a whole day. That was just little bits and pieces, man. We're gonna have to string together a whole 24-hour session, and then we're gonna have to do a mini series where we just cover everything. Man, they putting out all these thing on executive orders that don't make sense and slashing money that don't make sense, and yeah, somebody's gonna pay for it. Somebody. I don't know who. I mean, yeah, get your eggs in the same basket and pray for the best. That's all I can tell you.
Yep. Watch who you put in office because it matters. Now, speaking of putting in positions, the administration also, to show his dictator-like mentality, decided that in order to, let's say, give high-ranking jobs, move people into high-ranking positions, they are going to ask them a few questions. And the questions that they ask, they go right along the line of with the previous episode that we provided, where we showed you the application that they were putting together to filter through candidates and pick the right candidates for the jobs that they.
Man, that may have been back in like March of 24 when we did that. Right. It was a long time ago.
We told you it was coming, and sure enough, there's an article that we're going to show you right quick before we cut out of here. What does that say, Ken?
The shocking questions Trump admin is asking job candidates. And this one's dated February the 10th, 2025. Almost a year after we put our show up, telling y'all we got the actual application, and we went through question by question and explained the absurdity of each question. And but yeah, so let me scroll on down here a little bit. All right. Yeah. According to the report, the questions asked current and former officials up for top positions what they think about the results of the 2020 election and the January 6, 2021 attack on the U.S. Capitol. Although these questions were presented to candidates as yes or no options, individuals who did not respond with an alternative yes were not selected for the job. It is not clear if they weren't offered these jobs because of any other reasons. Oh, man.
They not. That's stuff right there for Trump. Look, man,
don't y'all see what's going on? Y'all see what's going on
as doctrine. You got to take it as hard clad. You can't waver. If you sit up and say that Trump supporters beat cops on January 6th, you can't work for him. He not gonna take that. He done already pardoned all them dudes. I mean, come on, y'all.
Man, I'm gonna let y'all know right now. When things get tough, I'm gonna hit y'all with the crossover, and I'm gonna put my brown shirt on. I'm gonna go out there with them, man. Y'all playing.
Well, knock yourself out, Ken. I can't.
I ain't going down like no sucker. I bet you that.
We brothers, buddy, but we ain't that tight.
My goodness. Well, my brother, I'll see you in El Segundo. You know how I do.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we're going to be on that train, baby. Y'all don't get on that train. Don't get on. Whatever you do, don't get on that train. All right.
All right.
We love y'all. peace, love, and hair grease, and keep it real, keep it light.
Say goodbye to the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau that brought back $21 billion to Americans because of corporate malfeasance. Say goodbye to them. They done shut them down today. Who knows?
Say goodbye to the dang on. Yeah, they done found almost $1 billion in cuts to the schools, man. The Board of Education. Elon Musk announced $800 and some million he done found that he can just slash right away. And when I was reading the story, I was talking to the he's the head of the schools over there in Wetumpka, man. And I asked him, well, what you gonna do? He was like, I guess we just gonna have to make it happen somehow. He was a Trumper. I was like, okay, yeah, hey.
Yeah. The thing about it is the red states that voted for Trump, those are the ones that are gonna suffer the cuts the most because they were the ones that were getting the majority of the funding from the Department of Education in the first place. Blue states have the capability to fund their schools at a much higher degree than the red states do.
Yeah, they fund them so well that they even have a little extra left over to send to the red states. You know how that works. They take the money from the blue and send it to the red. California.
Cut your nose off to spite your face. So
hey, don't do that. Whatever you do, don't do that. Hey, it's been real, man. It's been real, man. This thing is turning into something else, and I'm hoping. I'm just hoping and praying y'all will wake up and see it one day before it's everlasting democracy ending too late.
Maybe Ken, one day we'll wake up and we'll see that the only way we're gonna be able to outline and dialogue all of this stuff is if we do 6-hour shows. But for now, 15 minutes will do.
Yeah, 15 minutes will do. We'll just give y'all the highlights and keep it real from there, baby. Y'all know what this is. KQ.
KQ, everybody. Peace.
1, 2, KQ. A doodly do. Can you dig it? And all I wanna do 1, 2 is just listen to you. KQ politics 72. Can you dig it? 1, 2 KQ. A doodly do. Can you dig it? And all I wanna do 1, 2 you wish just listening to you. KQ politics 72. Can you dig it? KQ. Doodly-doo. Can you dig it?
1, 2, KQ. Doodly-doo. Can you dig it? Yeah, can you dig it?